Hey, how's it going? Okay, so just trying to look through what I have on the table for today. I need to. What is it? Check the numbers on the armor. Call the public library about the corpse. Yes. Look into the church. Somehow get Titus prize Ruby's location out of Titus, and get the map and figure out where the shot might have come from.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. The men are talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind blows outside.
Squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there, behind the glass.
There's something out there.
Yeah, your mother.
It's not a very good mother joke, but the room still laughs. Something about those mother jokes just works.
Okay, I'm feeling this 97% perception chance to look out the window.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key.
Okay.
Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Someone hid a key in the bush.
Huh?
Titus, can you hand the key to me, please?
I'm not your janitor, cop. I don't even know what you're talking about. There's nothing there.
If he says it's there, it's there.
I need you guys to hand me the key.
And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Take of the key.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the Union Box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I wonder what doors does it open.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
It's worth a try.
Fuck yeah, it is. I've got to get in that blue door.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. It could be connected to the barred door upstairs.
try the workshop spare key
The key
on it.
fits the dimple lock.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop.
Ooh. Pinball says Franco-Nigerian. The theme is horses and swords. Pinball is white Diora. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. Yeah, like you would have on a pinball. I just saw the window was interactable. It was the first time I've ever seen that, and I was like, oh, okay. A note. NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. 5 real, which is not bad.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
Look in.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
Says the last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
So I can be, like, normal and go like, oh, this elevator was maintained a long time ago, but I can also go, this elevator was last maintained in the future?
No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century.
That's disappointing.
If some form of time travel becomes possible in the future, I doubt its inventors will use it to repair elevators in Martinez.
I wonder what this elevator was used for.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
Alright, well, we'll go up there in a minute. I just want to make sure there's nothing around here that I've missed. Oh, okay, I thought that was like a corridor to go around, but no, it's just a corner. Oh, 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 oh!
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your finger across the dust of the white Deora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's white Deora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme. Probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
How about we fire up one of these bad boys and play some ball?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Okay, so I got an encyclopedia check. I think Kim Kitsuragi. You don't sound like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim. Let's try and draw some more points into that.
I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
What about the other one, the Franco-Nigerian ball? Want to play that?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a red check, though. It's encyclopedia. I'm gonna roll on it.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes his glasses off and cleans them.
Fine. I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
You don't really seem to like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise.
Holy, he got so French there. You've been speaking English the entire game. Why did you get so French there, Kim?
It is lame.
Then why are you called Pinball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
How did you...
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
You were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
Wait, so that's why you didn't talk to Kuno?
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Don't worry, I'll keep calling you Kim.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
The elevator stands open, inviting you to step inside.
Look at the controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descente, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long, long time ago.
Let's go. Well, that's what we'll fucking find out. Yeah, definitely going to be trapped in there forever. There definitely isn't a dude outside the now unlocked door a foot away. Small window taped shut with black plastic. Can't see outside. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Oh, I'd like to get in closer if you please. Hey, wait, this shares a wall with Classia's room. This is the second floor. Schematics for a pinball machine, futurism themed. Item gained, pinball maker's code. Okay. +1 to empathy and +1 to hand-eye coordination. This dusty old coat used to belong to someone called M. Knifelocks. The name is stitched into the silk lining. It smells of moths and ancient engine grease, but fits you perfectly. A strange, lonely emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your waist. Oh, okay. Yeah, but so French, baby. So French. Yeah, we'll give it a save. Pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop?
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hardys bang away at it.
But then, it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Could this mean the Whirling in Rags really is part of the doomed commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story. about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this.
Yes, we will of course be...
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
Thank you, Inland Empire. Finish the thought. Okay, so we got some footprints.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or two.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider.
Let's have a closer look then.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
That's a challenging perception check I just hit.
Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is.
Prints look like one person went back and forth.
Between that and that.
Points from the elevator doors to the barred corner, to the barred door. The print doesn't look like the odd sole print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know. But it's not an argument for her either.
Doesn't look like the workers' boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Okay.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
What does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting this.
These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer. And if not, at least they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it, to present to Titus.
Let's move on. It's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
What were those people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. They're sensationally unnatural.
I think I can see into Classia's bedroom from
You
here.
can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Finish the thought. So I got a level up too, we should probably deal with that. I might as well pump conceptualization up to as high as it goes, because that's been very good to us in terms of experience.
This is the barred door you tried to kick in before.
Lightly punch the door once more, just in case.
The door shudders a bit, as though it were laughing at you.
So what's on the other side?
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Glacia about this route, see how she reacts.
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly, and reads science fiction.
Like, see, I just got 10% off that, 10 XP off that check.
Yes, it is quite likely that we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact. Or the roof.
Unbar the door. This gonna be good. But why? What? Okay, so the theory now is that Ruby shot him and then arranged for the hanging, because she was the one who did that. How does that work? Like, I don't know what her game is then.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Okay, I literally get no new information from that. We'll have to see. We've got a few places left to check in terms of, like, abandoned zones as well, which we can go and look at. Might also be worth going down and seeing what's in that fucking ice fridge in the bookstore too, since we're going in that zone anyway. Nothing in here I need, so let's just go back down. We can talk to Gart, and I think we'll leave the Hardy Boys for now and just sort of look around and see what we can do. Because I feel like there's more information we need to get before we do that to see if we can find where Ruby is. Like knowing fucking where the shot might have come from, I guess. You got anything more for me, Gorosei?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you...
He does not.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Saw another thing at the Whirling.
Another thing? Great. I love those.
Gar, what if I told you I got into the back room behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
Controls his excitement well.
He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
So, we've got the obvious pinball machines. Skeletons, a mausoleum of the dead. Or nothing, the black gaping maw at the end of time. Pinball machines.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why, did you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
Thinking of turning this place back into a pinball arcade?
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. The machine we have in the corner now is broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
Should I warn him about that? I'll do peephole in the wall beforehand. There's a peephole in the wall.
What wall?
Upstairs, in the secret back room right next to Clausius' bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machines.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face.
Well, he hasn't been. Like, are you sure you haven't been spying on your guests? Like, he hasn't been able to get into the back room, so. Alright, you've been notified.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not.
I have to warn you, I may have discovered that the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
The Whirling is listed on the intercom outside. It's one of the businesses in Building B of the doomed commercial area.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling.
The Whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, which failed, though perhaps the Whirling will escape the curse.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, some doom ghost.
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the Whirling, huh?
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way. Especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way. Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
You shouldn't be so worried about that label, you know.
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that.
Who owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
Who named it the Whirling in Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You're surprised? What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
A song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
What about the other cafeterias you manage?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
And the others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the Whirling.
Well, good luck to you in this place, then.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
There's something else I wanted to ask about.
Yes?
Okay, we're good. We're good, fam. Now then, we're off. I'm trying to plot my route in my mind to go through the fewest number of loading screens as possible. Which is generally how I plot adventure games out in my mind. What are we on, day 4 here, I think? To make it Thursday. Oh, same as today. Cool.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Anything on the armored boots?
Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Ding, 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 ding.
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Shoot.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09.
Neonatal care unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
He was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Cornelis the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
Well, we have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like name in a case. It's important.
We did, but I think his other cafeterias are elsewhere in the city. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to find those communists.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity. About giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
Public library.
Hold on,
I can
officer.
finally get in there.
I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for any information that you can provide me on Billy Majan, a reader.
Billy Majan, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database. Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majan's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information on Billy Majan?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majan? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
You hear someone answer from afar.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining something.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Majan was a woman, not a man? How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like?
Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. What was he wearing? Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you, that's all from me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
Done with the radio for
57.
now.
In the cabin, you see...
We'll need a proc drama if I want to wake up my stats a little bit around class here, so let's pull that up a bit. And I'm going to unlock that white check. Capeside Apartments. This way, then down here.
Whoa. What have we here?
A bridge?
A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Yeah, we'll have to do that event. Like, I've got to get the map and go back up there to figure out where the bullet might have come from first. Kim, looks like we've got a construction code violation.
Sure. They never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though.
But Lieutenant, think about the splinters.
The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
Don't know why my brain suddenly decided that was the time for that, but okay. I'm taking a kind of loop so that we can get the sort of small cases done, then loop back to Clasia to get the sort of information we need for the main case. So we've got to try and use our time as correctly as possible. So I'll go up to Capeside on the balcony. Because I remember there was a door there that had that was interactable, but wasn't what we were looking for. 20.
This door is made of...
Nope, not that one.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allons, yo. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
Don't knock! Just leave! You don't need this! You don't need to sad it up!
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's...
dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Alright, I think I'm ready.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
First thing, before we fucking do anything, yes, we're going to save, but we're also going to fucking not be wearing ridiculous bullshit. Put on my empathy clothes.
A weathered brown door. The number... Something smells good. Soup allons, yo. The lieutenant, this is the door. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Knock. Oh. Hello, who is it? A voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Look at the lieutenant first.
He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy Majon's home? This is the police. Please open the door. Police? A moment. Please give us a moment. You're shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
She unlocks the door. Come in, the door is open. Oh, really? Pack of red Astra cigarettes hidden under the bed. Package of humanitarian aid macaroni. Some leftovers kept warm on the stove. Smells like buckwheat and onions here. Oh dang, that sounds good. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Can I afford curtains? Chalk-drawn height chart for children grown over the years. Text for high school mathematics. Trigonometry mostly. Clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Posters of contemporary pop stars adjoin the wall.
It's you, from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face. It's the fucking woman from the bookstore who I did that whole joking bit about her missing husband 2 days ago.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in
no.
his handkerchief. For now, you're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news? Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place.
Empathy impossible. Tell her about the body. +4, Kim is there. +1, kept your composure. +1, discuss things through with Kim. +1, Lieutenant's handkerchief. 97%. Okay.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
Would you say he's dead like that?
Yes. That's the most important thing. Use that word. No euphemisms. This is what you came here for.
Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Majon, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
Your husband, Victor Majon, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Yes.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It's hard to say at this point.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
Lieutenant takes out his handkerchief and offers it to the woman. She nods and slowly wipes away her tears. Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
Unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She nods, but with a wretched expression.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over her cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
She runs out of breath. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
Set the library car by her and leave the room. No, we shouldn't have, actually.
You did well.
Lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment. The balcony feels cool and quiet with a stunning view over the district. What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about Billy and her kids?
They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Right, this is closed then.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Conceptualization maxed plus art degree. Where are we at now? We're already halfway to... Whoa, we're already, 40 points away from a new skill point again. walked across this bridge quite a bit, and he had his first thought about how bad that bridge looks a second ago.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Renee? Show him the flower.
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
This is a royalist military tradition?
It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution.
Did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
You stirred up some bad memories there.
It's just that I happened to find the art degree thought to do that. Like if I'd found another thought that did something else, I would have min-maxed a different skill path. It's just that's what I happened to get to.
But it wasn't
It's
the
just
revolutionaries
basic
that
strategies.
sullied the idea for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston. But not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
So the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
What was that about cocaine?
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revachol's finest years.
You seem to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
Philippe III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense. He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
Sounds like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries.
From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM... But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies.
How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There's some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before.
The Carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come. still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Right.
To be honest, I wanted to see if I could crack this white check. Composure? Probably not.
Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
Okay. Could not do it. That's fine. Now we nip down here. We can snoot across the waterlock. To this trap, which needs the bait replacing, so I can do that.
The trap stands empty amongst the reeds, powdered with snow. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' melancholy rustling.
This was the one.
Fantastic.
Release the locusts into the empty trap.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Well, we're down here on the coast. Yeah, a while ago, but yeah. You ding dong me. We're gonna do the church now. I saved last at the fucking like literally up the road a bit from where we are. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, church time.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
And the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area, its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
I mean, push comes to shove, they break a stained glass window and get out if they're really that worried about it. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. grotesque wooden figure looks half-finished. Looks like it's trying to become one with the church. The figure was added later. It's not a part of the original church. Blackboard was filled with complex equations. They look recent. Portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Someone's siphoning electrical current from the outside into this antenna. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tape spin slowly on empty.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
I mean, I'm gonna get more conceptualization things, chances if I do, I think, so kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Close your eyes first.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope.
Open your eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
Got it.
You.
It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
How did I know this was the mother of humanism?
It's a mystery. A mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning.
Fuck you, encyclopedia.
Your heart knows, but it does not want to say, not yet. Let these things be unknown for now. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
Okay, visual calculus, reconstruct the cracked glass.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both.
Who shattered this mosaic? What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown.
Ooh. Who was the older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto? What does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, La gré. Après le gré. Le monde est nouveau.
You got anything for me, Frenchie?
After life.
Oh, thanks,
death.
Encyclopedia.
After death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was going to pipe up. And if I failed the encyclopedia check, he wouldn't have. Lieutenant, this used to say after life, death, after...
Death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like the other one better.
So do I.
Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
You know of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
Yeah, baby, I wasn't... That was a serious question. If you were able to translate it for me, I would have believed you. I went to you because I genuinely thought you might have been able to tell me what it meant.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of Delorianism? A pang of guilt? The lieutenant is leaving something out.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Cam, are you a follower of Delorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Delorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Delorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Alright. More points, more points. I'm thinking visual calculus. It's a religion, but it's also like the legal framework of the city of the state, by the sound of it. It's a state religion, not more of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Prayer book has been left open. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
What if it's something paranatural? Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Perception, we'll try to see beyond the shadows. I've got a very high chance at 97%. Yeah.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Follow the shadow's
It's
movement.
not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you are seeing.
Oh no. You've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
So there's a specific spot here that does something weird to sound, I guess?
The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man.
Who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the Lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I can just nope out. Oh, hell no, and run away. I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Okay, fine, I'm struggling, but you don't need to lecture me. I know what I need to do.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
I got a thought out of that.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game?
And that was a successful check.
Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Saving perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is Grandma?
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
What do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
If you're not a crab, then what are you?
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
What were you before you became a crab man?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, starting from scratch.
That's not really the point, I said. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry. Extend your hand for a greeting.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Okay then, what are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
The Mother of Silence. You mean her?
No, no, no. There's a new god in town. And she can be painted or sculpted. Because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me. But I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. And no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Okay then, thanks. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn on the frost of the window depicting a deer. And a bottle, woo! To get a new thought, too. Wasteland of reality. It's been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that it's a sickness, and it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your bruise-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with the day's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit? Probably a thought I should invest my next point into. Cracked pane of glass, colourful. Came from the stained glass window. Still has letters on it too. Spider spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Mask Banger's red brogues! +1 to empathy. Someone else's shoes! These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on-white flower motif sewn into the tongues. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. Yeah, it's about that time. You're right. Oh, wow, it is, yeah. I'll just get down from here and then I will go and do my shit. Okay. yes, that's all for now. Thanks for playing, babe.